Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. I'm Chris, that's a 240Z. Soon I'll have a saw in my hand and we're gonna cut it in half-ish, kind of. We're gonna cut the top part off the bottom part. This is the little known part of the restoration process where you cut the car off a car and you put it on a different car because the old car came with less car stuff. Alright guys, this one might be a short one. This is going to be no frills, no fluff, just a detailed explanation and a bunch of cutting. Stuff that, you know, you guys have seen before, but we're going to do it in a different way this time to hopefully make it better. Now we have our example piece that's back there behind the M5 where I can look to double check before I do any of the cuts, and that's going to come in handy specifically right back here where you have these two frame rails that run through. One you can see goes through there and the other one has a weird path that it takes through there when we're cutting this back section up. But we're gonna get started in the front. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the reciprocating saw and I'm gonna cut out this firewall section right here and bring it on down to the side rail section down here, and we're gonna keep the whole trans tunnel intact this time. All right, we got the front of that firewall out. I apologize, the camera angles are a little tricky right now. The sun is coming directly at the camera at this time of night. So anyways, we got that front part out. The next step is gonna be to keep following along the side of that transmission tunnel right there, cutting along there, and then cutting right along our frame rail right down here and cutting all this out. Now you can see light through there, and you could definitely see right there how bad that is. So this floor pan was already dead anyways, but we obviously, like I said, are gonna save that transmission tunnel. So we're gonna cut, yeah, like I said, there, snip that off there, all that whole section will come out the front. And then what I'm wondering about here, and I'm probably just gonna take some time to think about it, is what to cut around here. I know the engine goes clear, you know, kind of clear over to here. I don't know how much of this I wanna keep, and then I don't know how much of what's under it we want to keep either. Obviously we can't keep all of it because that is too thick for the engine to even get underneath there. So I'm thinking, so this is the where the dashboard meets up right here, and that's what we need to build a firewall off of. So we want to keep as much of it as we can, but I might need to kind of come in here and trim along that bottom edge so we can get the piece that goes straight up to there and up to there out of there, and then the question mark is what to do, how much of this to leave, which I'll figure out later. I'm gonna first start by cutting these floor pans out. All right, that looks like progress. We got both the floorboards completely cut out. All the cutting went well. We didn't touch anything that we really worried about, so it's good. Next thing I want to do is focus on getting the transmission tunnel out. So there's a big support piece that runs right through here. It's a big old beefy bar. So we're gonna have to cut through that. I'm gonna cut up and around and back down and then pull that out as one piece. It's nice because on this one I don't have to worry about a fuel tank jumping out at me, or at least I don't think I do. Yeah, no fuel tank. So I can kind of cut a little bit more freely this time. Transmission tunnel is out. Now our transmission is not going to be the exact same size, so this won't be like a direct replacement, but it is a lot of metal and it's in roughly the right shape. So even if we have to cut it in half and widen it or do anything else like that, it's worth it to at least have this around if we need it and not cut it up in a bad way. So that's there. Moving on, you guys probably remember the next few steps. We're going to come right in here, and then we're going to cut along this edge right here, up, back, and back as far as we can get back there. We have went and cut along the sides all the way back to the back over there. Same with over here, and you can see it's already kind of sagging down. It's ready to go, which is great. With no drive line or anything underneath there, it's a lot easier. Hopefully it'll be a lot easier. So now I went to the other one that's over there, and I kind of checked and saw exactly how we want to cut it this time. What we want to do is try and stay about an inch away from this side piece right here and cut around here, and then here we want to stay more than an inch away, so like barely squeak behind this thing right here. And then over here, and then we're going to actually cut into this piece right here along here and then down. The reason being, there's a really nice back piece right here that bolts into the back of the car right here, right along here, and other things like that. And it's real nice and it's real clean, and that would be a great spot for me to weld in a bunch of stuff that we're going to need. So I want to make sure that we keep that thing clean and we don't chop into it this time. Rear trunk section is all cut out, and now I got Chelsea to give me a hand. We're gonna probably just like lift this thing up by the front, maybe pivot it on the jack stands over here on the front, and then try and drag all that stuff out the back. All right, we've got a body. It's all ready to be brought into the shop and started to get attached to the frame. That's definitely the next step that we have. But I am gonna take some thought about media blasting this thing in the meantime, or walnut blasting it, or whatever you gotta do. I know that there's definitely some things you don't wanna use because they heat up the metal. But I'm definitely thinking about maybe getting this body cleaned up before we bring it to the shop. I'm not really sure what the correct order of operations is there. But I need to make sure that Eric and I are both able to work at the same time, so we'll have to work around that as well. So I test fit the cowl on here. First of all, it doesn't fit very well. Second of all, it just kind of hangs out here. And so if it's just gonna hang out here, we have to do a good deal of work around this cowl anyways, because we're gonna want these vents here, but we also don't want water to get through here, so we're gonna have to build like a sealed under tray section or something like that diverts the water out, and we're gonna have to plug these holes as well. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is later on we'll go ahead and cut this cowl once again a lot more shallow, and then on the dash side I want to cut with the cutoff wheel, but I'll cut it probably right around that line right there, and then we'll keep that stuff down there, and that should be good and fit any type of dashboard situation that we get out of the M5 over there to move over to here. Dashboard's gonna be next to impossible. I have no idea how we're gonna do it, but we'll figure it out. All right guys, well that is a wrap on this episode. With any luck tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow, we'll have that thing welded on to our frame. I think we have time to do it. That would be really cool. That's my goal. Tomorrow I'd like to get that welded on. Exciting stuff. We have less than 3 months now to finish this car for SEMA. We will still bring it to SEMA if it doesn't run, but I really want to bring a running and driving, not complete build, because this is going to be a longer term build, but definitely the first stage of it done. That's my goal. So really trying to put in the hours and really trying to get this thing ready to go. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. After seeing the rendering yesterday, it's just got me like that much more excited. Everything went well with our SEMA submission. Our submission got in on time, everything like that. Heard back from them, confirmation that they received it. That's not confirmation that we're for sure there yet, but that's just, they got it. They got it. So what else? There's nothing else. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support BS for Build, head over to bsforbuild.com, scroll down the shop, pick up a sticker. I think that's all we have left as far as merchandise. I promise I will get down to work on getting the merchandise in. I don't know what's taking so long. And we're on Patreon. We're on Patreon if you want to join. The link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please tune back in tomorrow and we'll get that thing in the garage and other stuff like that.